What's going on, everybody? This is Rachel here with the Spawn Room, and this is going to be episode 1 of the Spawn Room News, where we're going to go over, just some esports news that's going on in the world, mainly from live events. Currently, we are at the CECC, the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup May Madness 2025. And if you followed along last year, you know that I wrote like a whole lot of articles, posted a whole bunch of pictures. Wanted to do something a little bit new this year, so we're still going to be posting a whole lot of pictures. I have a lot of pictures ready to go, but instead of doing written news, we're going to do a little bit of live reporting news. So we're going to do a little bit of a recap of day one. Now, day one was a lot more of your play-ins and your group stages and whatnot, so not a whole lot of action going on. We really don't know who's going to go on to Championship Sunday yet, but I do have a couple of highlights from the main stage. Now, if you're new here with me, you know that I am a one-woman show. There's only so much of me that can go around, so there is some things that I missed from day one. We're going to try to tackle some of those in day two, but I do have some highlights from the main stage throughout day one. So first up with Rocket League, the first match that we had of the day on the main stage was between Grand Canyon University and Shawnee State University. Grand Canyon kind of surprised everybody, coming out strong with a 2-0 game lead that they were up on Shawnee State. Shawnee State came back quickly with 2 3-0 matches, and so they did end up going to Game 7. Now, even though this is still, the first 2 days of Rocket League does go to 7 games throughout the entire tournament. So they did end up going to Game 7, where Shawnee State, they were able to take the victory in the final match. So then we move over to Super Smash Brothers, where we had Winthrop defending their title, going up against the University of Texas at Arlington. Now, a major difference that's happening this year in comparison to last year is that a lot of these Super Smash Brothers players who are considered in the pro scene aren't here this year. They're actually over in Japan for another tournament that's going on. So a little bit of a different, vibe coming off of a lot of these teams, because they could really go to anybody this year. So Winthrop, they're going to be defending their title in the first stage of Super Smash Brothers, but UTA, they came out swinging out the gate. So Atomic, as Rob, he came out, he took out 3 Winthrop players in a row, and that in round one, that UTA was able to take round 1, and then in round 2, Skits, he came out 100% swinging his Wario. He took out 2 players. In his second match, he was down to 1 stock for basically the entire match and still managed to take out one of the Winthrop players, in which he was finally defeated by their third player. After that, the vibe kind of changed a little bit, and Winthrop, they managed to make a comeback, and it all came down to the final match between Sybil and Kyle. Sybil from Winthrop and Kyle from UTA, and in a very surprising twist of an ending, Kyle used a final smash way earlier than I think anybody anticipated, because all of the players, everybody in the crowd, we all just kind of sat there and mouths dropped. Like, wait a minute, what just happened? He won? Whenever we were at that point, Sybil actually had the up and up on him. That Kyle was actually down a percentage. So that final smash, it kind of came out of nowhere, and so UTA was able to take the win over the defending champion Winthrop. So then we move over to the new kids on the block, Street Fighter 6. Now, this is the first year at the CECC that there is a fighting game tournament going on that is not Super Smash Brothers. So Street Fighter 6, they are the new kids on the block. So this main stage was their inaugural main stage. So in the first 4 fights that we had up on the main stage, we had Hippo versus 23, Qua versus Davey, Luke SFH against D-Knock, and RG Prime against Abyssal. And the winners of those matchups were Hippo, Davey, Luke SFH, and Abyssal. One cool thing about Luke and D-Knock is that it was not only their first time at CECC, but it was also the first time that their schools were represented at CECC. So a little bit cool stuff coming out of those players. And we'll see a lot more of that as Street Fighter 6 continues to grow and the collegiate fighting game community continues to grow. So that's all we had from day one. So we are here now at day 2. It's a beautiful day outside. It's why I still got my sunglasses on. So I can't wait to give you guys the updates from day 2. So make sure you stick around. Make sure you give me a follow here on YouTube at CrunkNWJ, and then also on Twitter at CrunkNWJ or the_Spawn Room, and Instagram at the_Spawn Room. So we'll check you guys here after the end of day 2.